Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll dive into some surprising stories about African American celebrities who kept their secret relationships hidden until the very end. Despite being famous for their exceptional talents and undeniable contributions to music, literature, and film behind the spotlight, they faced quiet, passionate love stories, some of which the public never knew about. Join us as we take a deep look into the personal lives of these legends and many others to uncover secrets never before revealed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any exciting videos. James Baldwin was a famous American writer, born in 1924, who expressed his emotions as clearly as anyone else during his time. He overcame the challenges of racism, identity, and love, and, of course, poured his heart into his works. However, Baldwin's love life remained a complete mystery until his passing. Later, it was discovered that he had romantic relationships with both men and women, though he never publicly acknowledged them, likely due to the societal pressures of the time or perhaps because he was a private person. Through his novel Just Above My Head, Baldwin revealed part of his experiences with love, particularly with black men who were his lovers. It was a beautiful yet challenging journey of loving and being loved. His other works, like Go Tell It on the Mountain and Another Country, touched on the delicate emotions of love, longing, and what it means to be human. His words served as a beacon of hope for those who felt they didn't belong. Baldwin was famously quoted as saying that living a secret life could be a burden, sometimes even more painful than the secrets themselves. Whitney Houston was arguably one of the greatest voices the music industry has ever known, captivating the world with her beautiful voice and stunning beauty. Born during the glamorous era of the 1980s, her name became iconic with famous songs like I Will Always Love You and Greatest Love of All. However, behind all the glamour and fame, Whitney's personal life was filled with complexities and secrets waiting to be uncovered. One of those secrets was her passionate and intense relationship with Robin Crawford. The two met as teenagers and quickly became inseparable. Their friendship soon developed into a romantic relationship. However, as Whitney started gaining fame and all eyes were on her, she decided to keep the relationship private, which led to the end of their romantic connection. Despite this, they maintained a strong friendship, to the point where Whitney asked Robin to be her maid of honor at her wedding to Bobby Brown. While tabloids were busy speculating about Whitney's relationships with other men, her long-lasting bond with Robin was the real story. It wasn't until after Whitney's passing through Robin's memoir that their love story and the struggles they endured under social pressure and the stigma of being gay were revealed. Little Richard was truly a unique rock and roll star, unlike anyone else. Born Richard Wayne Penniman in 1932, he rose to fame in the 1950s and immediately won hearts with hits like Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally. He changed the face of music with his energetic, powerful, and bold performances that had never been seen before. It seemed like he had it all: fame, money, and women. But in reality, he felt burdened. His lifelong struggle to conceal the truth about his sexual orientation was never easy for this rock star. His attraction to men may have ended his career, so he was forced to have relationships with women, which led to multiple marriages and some secret relationships with men. One of these relationships was with dancer Audrey Robinson, also known as Lee Angel. This relationship was particularly significant but remains little known. Little Richard's career was caught at the crossroads of music, faith, and identity. He often felt torn between his religious upbringing and his true self, which led him to repeatedly deny his sexual orientation in public. He was once famously quoted saying that he had been gay his whole life, but later expressed contradictory views on being gay, reflecting the inner struggle he faced. However, his legacy goes far beyond music, as his life sparked conversations about identity and acceptance, conversations that continue to resonate even after his death in 2020. Everyone knows and continues to recognize Martin Luther King as a civil rights icon, someone who dedicated his life to fighting for equality and justice, with his inspiring speeches and unwavering commitment motivating millions. But do we know the person behind the legend? It turns out King's personal life was far more complex than we ever knew. While he was married to Coretta Scott King, he had a long-term romantic relationship with Dorothy Cotton, a senior staff member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Their relationship was deep and intimate, with Cotton often accompanying King, who found comfort and peace in their bond, especially when his public life was in a state of chaos. In fact, King privately shared that he wished to live in a society that accepted polygamy, reflecting his complex views on love and true commitment. Despite their closeness, King remained married to his wife, Coretta. As a result, this relationship had to remain secret, with Cotton living in the shadows of their affair while King fought for civil rights. Additionally, he struggled with personal conflicts, including guilt over the affair. The relationship ended after King was assassinated in 1968. Marvin Gaye lived a life full of turmoil and brilliance, a musical talent with an emotive voice that created timeless hits like What's Going On and Sexual Healing. Born in 1939, Gaye rose to fame with his smooth voice and haunting lyrics. However, his personal life was fraught with difficulties. Marvin Gaye went through 2 painful marriages and several secret relationships, which only added to the turmoil in his already tumultuous life. Although he was married to Anna Gordy, Gaye continued to have secret romantic relationships with several women, seeking a genuine connection amidst a life of fame and tension. One of the most intriguing relationships in Marvin Gaye's life was with Janice Hunter. He met her while she was still in high school, and their relationship blossomed during a time when Gaye was struggling with his difficult marriage. This relationship led to the birth of 2 children together. However, despite the intense love between them, Gaye's infidelity and ongoing struggles with addiction constantly impacted their relationship. And when it comes to Marvin Gaye's secrets, there were other romantic entanglements he kept hidden as well. No doubt, Etta James is the queen of blues and soul, with a voice as sweet as honey that can melt the coldest hearts and as powerful as her performances on stage. However, behind timeless hits like At Last and I'd Rather Go Blind lies a web of secrets and struggles in Etta's personal life, with hidden relationships and battles with addiction that often overshadowed her musical talent. Despite always exuding strength through her music, Etta had a private life full of drama and secret relationships. One notable relationship was with musician and producer Harvey Fuqua, which developed during Etta's rise to stardom. Although their bond was deep, most of it was kept hidden. In addition, Etta had a turbulent marriage and an unstable lifestyle, but she never gave up on her art. She continued to perform and record, winning multiple Grammy Awards and being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Etta James's legacy stands as a testament to a strong and resilient singer who became a true music legend. Josephine Baker had it all: allure, social activism, and secrets, all intertwined in the remarkable life of an artist. She stunned Paris in the 1920s with her unique style and captivating charm. But Baker was not just an artist. She was also an icon in the fight against racism and a champion for freedom. However, her private life was vastly different from the public image she projected. Behind the scenes, she had secret relationships and hidden lovers, both men and women, all of whom were ready to dance to her rhythm. There were many rumors about her romantic entanglements, including one with the legendary artist Frida Kahlo, whose passion and creativity matched or even surpassed Baker's. We cannot forget her extramarital affairs, including a relationship with famous novelist George Simenon and a passionate affair with Swiss architect Laure Breuer. Despite her love life being filled with secrets, Baker's commitment to her career and social activism never wavered. She used her platform to fight against racism and advocate for civil rights, becoming one of the most courageous activists and beloved artists of all time. Richard Pryor was a groundbreaking comedian and writer who changed the face of comedy with his candid and uncompromising stories on controversial topics. Born in 1940, he began his career in the 1960s and quickly stood out for his sharp ability to connect with diverse ethnic groups in his audience. Pryor was a quintessential comedian, shaped by experiences of racism, substance abuse, and relationships. Albums like That Nigger's Crazy earned him not only critical acclaim, but also 5 Grammy Awards, solidifying his reputation as one of the legends in comedy. While he was outspoken about most issues, many of Pryor's relationships remained private. He had several notable marriages and relationships with women, while his romantic relationships with men remained mostly secret until his death. His attraction to both sexes was revealed after his passing through his autobiography and interviews with close friends. His romantic relationships were often kept private, known only to a few close friends. For someone of his stature at the time, being linked to a romantic relationship not only with a woman, but also with a man could have had a significant impact on his career, especially considering the sensitive nature of sexual orientation at the time. One of his secret relationships was with actress Catherine McKee, which was even more intimate for Pryor. Paul Mooney is a comedy legend who brought both humor and important social topics into his work. His collaboration with Richard Pryor began in 1968 and became a legendary story in the world of comedy. Mooney's way of addressing tough issues like racism and social problems through his bold voice shaped his career in the comedy industry. His works appeared on popular shows, solidifying his position as a pioneer in the comedy world. However, what you may not know is that Mooney's personal life tells a completely different story. He kept his romantic relationships private, reflecting the complexities of his personal identity and the social norms of his time. It wasn't until later that friends and colleagues revealed that Mooney was attracted to both sexes and had relationships with men. These romantic relationships added another fascinating layer to his already compelling story. In his memoir, Black is the New White, Mooney openly shared about his life, love, and everything related to him. Despite facing many challenges, including addiction and the pressures of fame, Mooney maintained a close bond with Pryor, who understood him deeply. Jesse Owens is a name synonymous with greatness. He made history by shattering Adolf Hitler's myth of Aryan superiority, winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Born in 1913 in Oakville, Alabama, Owens faced severe racial discrimination from a young age, but he didn't let that hold him back. Owens became one of the greatest athletes of all time, dominating the 100m, long jump, 200m, and 4x100m relay events. He was beloved and admired by the public as a sports superstar, but his private life was much more complex. He had several secret relationships that were overshadowed by the fame from his Olympic achievements. Although he married Ruth Sohl in 1935 and had 3 daughters, rumors about his affairs with other women persisted throughout and even after their marriage. As a famous figure in an era with strict social norms, Owens had to maintain a respectable image. His romantic relationships were rarely made public, reflecting the stigma surrounding infidelity and extramarital relationships during that time. It wasn't until his death in 1980 that the stories of his secret romances were revealed, painting a picture of a man who was not just a sports icon, but also a person with desires and struggles like anyone else. Toni Morrison is a literary legend who revolutionized the literary world with her profound exploration of the African-American experience. Born in Ohio in 1931, she wrote legendary novels such as The Bluest Eye, Song of Solomon, and Beloved. These books delve deeply into themes of identity, race, and love, and her writing style can truly be described as a marvel. Morrison's works, rich with lyrical language and emotional depth, earned her both the Pulitzer Prize and the Nobel Prize in Literature. Her stories often shed light on Black women, highlighting their struggles and triumphs in a world rife with racism and sexism. However, while her public life was primarily centered around her literary achievements, her private life remained quite discreet. She married Harold Morrison in 1958 but divorced him after a decade. Throughout her life, she had romantic relationships with both men and women, all kept private, possibly to protect her privacy amid her fame. One of her notable relationships was with comedian Fran Lebowitz. Friends and biographers have revealed some important relationships that shaped her life and work, but these were mostly kept private throughout her lifetime. After Morrison's passing in 2019, more about her private life began to emerge, painting a picture of a woman who was not only a literary icon, but also a person with complex relationships and deep love. Nina Simone was a music legend and social activist who left a profound mark on the world. Born Eunice Kathleen Wayman in 1933, she initially planned to become a classical pianist, but jazz and blues ultimately became her true passion. Simone's legendary songs like Mississippi Goddam and Feeling Good became iconic anthems for the civil rights movement, reflecting her deep commitment to social justice. Her unique blend of musical genres and raw emotion made her an incomparable artist, and her influence continues to resonate to this day. However, while Simone was open about her social activism, her romantic life was another story. She kept her relationships private, even from her fans. One of the most significant yet least publicly known relationships was with Andrew Stroud, her second husband and also her manager. Their relationship was passionate but chaotic, with Stroud's abusive behavior leaving a lasting impact on Simone's life and music. Her romantic relationships didn't stop there. She also had affairs with prominent figures, including civil rights activists, artists, and even women. Although she didn't publicly discuss her romantic preferences, she wrote in her journals about her attraction to women. These relationships inspired much of her work, infusing her songs with personal pain and longing. After Simone's death in 2003, her private life began to be revealed, shedding light on the depth of her experiences and emotional struggles. Biographers have explored these aspects of her life, highlighting how they shaped her art and legacy. Diana Ross is the queen of Motown and so much more. As the lead singer of the Supremes, she sang hits like Stop, In the Name of Love and You Can't Hurry Love, shaping the sound of a generation and becoming an icon of Black female empowerment in the music industry. With a career spanning multiple decades, Ross has earned countless awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, proving that she's not only a beautiful voice, but also an outstanding solo artist. However, behind the glamour and glory, Ross's personal life tells a completely different story. There have been rumors surrounding her romantic relationships, and she has kept some big secrets, such as her romance with Smokey Robinson, the very same Smokey Robinson we all know. This was a passionate but complicated relationship, as Robinson was still married at the time. Later, he reflected on their relationship, stating that they shared a deep connection that went beyond music. Ross also had a relationship with Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records, and this romance intertwined with their professional relationship. Eventually, both chose to focus on their careers. Additionally, there have been speculations about her relationship with Michael Jackson, who always admired her as a mentor, but also had a special affection for her. Ross maintained distance, ensuring nothing affected her reputation. Sammy Davis Jr. was a multi-talented artist, a singer, dancer, and comedian who always lit up the stage whenever he appeared. Born in 1925, he started his performing career as a child with the Will Maston Trio, impressing audiences with his extraordinary talent. Davis became an important member of the Rat Pack alongside Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, charming everyone with his wit and charisma. His famous songs continue to resonate today, earning him a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and a solid place in the hearts of his fans. However, behind the spotlight, Davis's life was much more complex. He had several secret romantic relationships kept hidden from the public eye. Davis was married 3 times, but there were also rumors about relationships with other stars, including actress Kim Novak and singer Liza Minnelli. These relationships were often kept private, likely due to the pressures of fame and societal expectations at the time. His love life was complicated and sometimes turbulent, reflecting the challenges he faced as a black man in Hollywood. His secret relationships even influenced his music, with many of his songs echoing themes of longing and pain from these hidden romances. After his death in 1990, many stories of his secret loves began to be revealed. Bessie Smith, also known as the Empress of the Blues, dominated the music stage with her powerful voice. Born in 1894 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, she became famous during the Jazz Age and recorded over 160 songs, becoming the highest-paid black artist of her time. Her music was raw, authentic, and emotionally resonant, with themes of love, pain, and social issues that still echo today. However, Bessie's personal life was just as fascinating as her music. Bessie was openly attracted to both men and women, and her romantic relationships were as passionate as her performances. Her marriage to Jack G was far from easy, with infidelities on both sides. Bessie had secret love affairs with women in the band, including a passionate romance with Lillian Simpson. This relationship was intense, but they kept it hidden from Jack, who would never have accepted it. Bessie's later relationship with Richard Morgan also remained private, even though it overlapped with her marriage to Jack. Unfortunately, Bessie's life was cut short by a car accident in 1937, leaving many secrets about her romantic life undisclosed until after her death. Langston Hughes was a literary legend who helped shape American literature with his powerful poetry and prose. Born in 1902, Hughes used his voice to honor black culture and fight against racial injustice. His iconic works, such as The Negro Speaks of Rivers and The Weary Blues, captured the essence of the African-American experience, blending jazz rhythms with heartfelt emotions. Hughes was not only a poet but also a cultural ambassador, traveling widely and drawing inspiration from his experiences to enrich his works. Hughes is most well known for his literary work and social activism, but that is only part of his story. Behind the spotlight, his love life was shrouded in mystery. Hughes had several romantic relationships that were kept secret, reflecting the complexities of his personal identity and the social norms of his time. His friendships with women like Zora Neale Hurston suggested deeper connections, but many of his romantic relationships remained private. It wasn't until after his death in 1967 that discussions about his private life began to surface. Biographers revealed that he had relationships with both men and women, and these relationships influenced his work, enriching his understanding of love and desire. These hidden relationships provided a rich context for his work, deepening the themes of longing and identity in his poetry. Zora Neale Hurston was a talented writer and anthropologist who celebrated African-American culture through her vivid storytelling. Born in 1891 in Alabama, she grew up in Eatonville, Florida, the first all-black town in the U.S., which deeply influenced her work. Her famous novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God, published in 1937, is a powerful exploration of self-awareness and empowerment for a black woman. This story holds significance not only for women, but also reflects major issues in American society at the time. Additionally, her pioneering anthropological studies, such as Mules and Men, showcased her dedication to preserving the traditions and culture of black people. Although Hurston's literary achievements are widely recognized, her romantic life tells a different story. She had several relationships throughout her life, but many were kept private. Her marriage ended in divorce in 1931, and she later explored various romantic entanglements. One of the most intriguing relationships was a serious and passionate affair with Langston Hughes, but it ultimately turned out to be a close friendship. This relationship was filled with tension and didn't last. It wasn't until after Hurston passed away in 1960 that stories about her secret relationships began to emerge. Biographers uncovered details about her relationships with both men and women, which had been kept hidden during her lifetime. These secret love affairs added depth to her character and influenced her writing style. Phyllis Hyman had a unique voice powerful enough to make anyone who listened feel the deep emotion in her music. Her hits like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone continue to captivate R&B and jazz fans to this day. However, despite her success in the music industry, Hyman's personal life was filled with struggles she tried to keep hidden from the public. Behind the glamour, Hyman battled bipolar disorder and depression, conditions she fought with throughout much of her life. In an effort to cope with her emotional pain, she turned to self-medication with alcohol and drugs, hoping to find some peace. Sadly, despite her fame and success, Hyman's mental health issues were worsened by the very things that were supposed to bring her comfort. In the years following her passing, many details about Hyman's personal life were revealed, including her romantic relationships. It is known that Hyman had relationships with both men and women, including a long-term relationship with musician Tina Clark. While Hyman never publicly identified as gay, those close to her believed that her relationship with women was an important part of her life. Octavia Butler was a trailblazing writer in every sense of the word, especially in the genre of science fiction. She broke barriers and challenged societal norms through thoughtful explorations of race, gender, and humanity. Born in 1947 in Pasadena, California, Butler became the first African-American woman to make her mark in a field that was predominantly dominated by white men. Her famous works, such as Kindred and the Parable series, delved into complex themes of identity and social justice, solidifying her position as a leading voice in the Afrofuturism movement. By blending personal stories with science fiction, Butler paved the way for future generations of writers to explore their narratives within imagined worlds. Butler's personal life, however, tells a completely different story. While her literary contributions were widely recognized, her romantic relationships were often kept private from the public. Friends and biographers have hinted at secret lovers who played important roles in her life, but these relationships were largely undisclosed throughout her lifetime. Additionally, Butler was attracted to both men and women. Known for her reserved and private nature, she kept her love life close to the chest, which only added to the mystery surrounding her. After her death in 2006, many details about her relationships began to emerge, revealing that she, too, experienced love and desire just like anyone else. Luther Vandross is the embodiment of smooth soul music, with a warm voice and romantic ballads. He left an indelible mark on the music industry. Born on April 20th, 1951, Vandross started his career as a backup singer before rising to prominence with his debut album Never Too Much in 1981. His style was unmistakable, and his heartfelt lyrics resonated with listeners everywhere, leading to hits like Dance with My Father, a song that earned him a Grammy for Song of the Year in 2004. With over 40 million recordings sold and 8 Grammy Awards, Vandross cemented his place as one of the greatest voices in music history. However, Vandross's life wasn't always smooth sailing. While he was famous for his romantic ballads, his personal life was more complicated. He kept his relationships private, often hiding secret lovers from the public eye. Vandross's sexual orientation, something he kept private throughout his life, played a role in these hidden relationships. Friends and biographers later revealed that Vandross had relationships with both men and women, reflecting the challenges he faced in a society that wasn't always accepting. After his death in 2005, many details of his private life began to emerge, shedding light on the emotional depth behind many of his songs. Thank you for watching today's video. These stories about legends not only help us understand more about their personal lives, but also highlight their efforts to overcome societal barriers and challenges in difficult times. Whether it's secret romances or complex, passionate relationships, each story brings depth and endless inspiration. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to share and leave your comments below. Join us as we continue to explore more hidden stories behind famous stars in upcoming videos. Thank you and see you next time.